Yo, what's good, y'all boys? Um, this is my second video ever. Um, yeah, I didn't think I would do this again, but here we are. So, if you know me, I'm a yapper, and um, yeah, I just need to use this YouTube channel as a way to get some of my yaps out there instead of just saving them for, you know, my mom's memory or whatever. So, yeah. I'm going to talk about getting reality checked and why I think that's important to everybody who will ever live. Um, First, I'm going to talk about my experience of me, where I think that I have been reality checked in my lifetime. And we got to go back to eighth grade. Um, so I was what 14, 13, about to turn 14. um and I was in yeah, still in middle school. This was before COVID came and shut everything down. So yeah, 2020. um and so just a little backstory about me. I am belted in taekwondo. This is not a flex, this is just important to the story. And so I for the longest time I walked around with this mentality of like, oh well, I'm belted in a traditional martial art, um, so I could just beat anybody up that I want to. So we come to class. I forget which day it was, but it was around my birthday, which will also come into play later. Um, and so we walk into class, we do our stuff, whatever. That's do your middle school stuff. Yeah. So I fought this guy. Let me talk about what happened leading up to the fight. So me and this guy, he knows who he is. I'm not gonna name any names because that's yeah. Um, and so we were just messing around. We were walking out of the classroom actually. We were about to leave. Um, I do something. I think I like flick his hair or whatever. Um, and he kind of, light taps me. For some reason, that sets me off, because I was extremely short fused back in this time, and anybody that knew me back then knows that that's true. Um, and so this sets me off. So I push him, and I'm all the while thinking in my head, I'm like, this gets to a fight, I'm gonna just kick his ass. Um, so I push him, and I take maybe 2 steps about to leave the hallway, and then all of a sudden, I feel this dude's fucking massive arm swing around my neck and yank me back. And I crash into maybe 2 or 3 desks. Um, and down there, he still had his arm around my neck and basically put me in a rear naked choke in a headlock. And yeah, so and I used to walk around telling people, "Oh yeah, I've got a high blue in Taekwondo. I could just beat anybody up." That facade came crashing down crazily that day. Um, and then this was the first reality check of that little time period, right? Having to walk through that hallway, right? Because everybody, how we used to do it was we would line up outside the hallways before class started. Because I think teacher was trying to set stuff up or whatever for the next class. So everybody would line up. Having to walk out of that classroom knowing that I lost a fight and knowing that everybody else knew that I lost that fight, being laughed at, being, mocked, made fun of by people that you don't know, people that you barely know, your biggest bulliers, your friends, your best friends, laughing at you, bro. You know how embarrassing that is? That is the most embarrassing moment of my life. So, yeah, it was awful. I felt so embarrassed. I wanted to just disappear. I just wanted to disappear off the face of the earth. I never wanted to be seen again. So we go to their office, right? And here's where the birthday comes into play. My birthday is January 16th. I think this might have happened on like the 12th or something, or like the 13th. I get suspended from school for 3 days, right? So that was the whole end of that week, and then the 2 weekend days, right? I think my birthday that year was on a Saturday. So yeah, I get suspended. We go to BIC. That's what we called ISS in middle school. Just a boring, cold, nothing to do room. You just sit there and do work. That's all you do. And you can't talk or make any noise at that. Um, so yeah. So I sit there in BIC knowing that I'm gonna have to go home and get yelled at and screamed at and you know, ridiculed for the whole time I was suspended for. So I go home and that's exactly what happened. I get yelled at by my mom and my grandma. Um, I can't remember exactly what they told me because my memory sometimes can be kind of shit. Um, but yeah, whole time I was suspended, just would have to hear it every day. So now for my birthday, right? We were supposed to have a party at the house, um, and everybody was supposed to come. So that gets canceled, and yeah, birthday comes. I wake up. I'm like, let me see how this day goes, because it might not be that bad. We might still do something. Mom comes home from, yeah, she was doing dialysis at this point in time. She comes from home from dialysis, and I'm out there. I'm cleaning up the driveway because I had to do chores for my birthday. Yeah, I did chores that day. Um, I'm like, "Hey, mom," and she looks at me. She's like, "Hey." I'm like, "You're not gonna tell me happy birthday?" And she looked at me and she said and she said this. She said this exactly like this: "Happy birthday," and walked in. Didn't even hug me, give me a kiss, nothing. Just a half-assed happy birthday. And my grandma didn't even tell me happy birthday. So then, come to find out, my party got canceled. Um, and that sucked. But I was like, okay, well, I'll still give my gifts that I was supposed to get. No, didn't get shit. I got nothing for that birthday. Absolutely nothing. And when people would call me to tell me happy birthday, the call would 20% be happy birthday, 80% be them telling me how disappointed they were in me that I would get suspended from school again. Because that was actually my second time being suspended from school. Because I got suspended in sixth grade over some bullshit. Um, but yeah, it's left in the past. It is what it is now. But this all ties back to my whole reality check thing because not only did I get checked that day of the fight, um, and it changed my mindset of like being able to beat everybody. Well, after that day, that's when I had to check myself. And well, I got checked that day, but I had to check myself. I had to be like, bro, we done with this fighting shit. We can't be just taking on everybody. You know what I mean? And then the second check came on my birthday when everything got canceled and I got no gifts. And that's really when I realized I was like, okay, I just need to be on my best behavior at school because I used to think that, oh well, I could get in trouble and still get away with it because I rarely got disciplined as a kid. And I really got punished for real as a kid. I might have got whoopings, yeah. Everybody got whoopings though. Especially if you black, you definitely got whoopings. Um, but yeah, that's when I got reality checked hard. That's when my mindset changed about being able to beat everybody. Um, I can't I can't beat everybody, obviously, But yeah, but then I want to talk about now I want to talk about the importance of stuff like that because I think one of the most important times in your life and one of the most important things you can go through in your life is getting reality checked because there's one of two ways you can respond to that. You can either, really take it on the chin and change what you need to change to grow from it, or you can just blow past and be like, all right, it is what it is. I think you need to be reality checked at some point to grow as a person. I grew as a person from those. I stopped being a dickhead to everybody. I stopped walking around with this chip on my shoulder thinking that I was untouchable because obviously I fucking wasn't. You get choke slammed through a couple desks and you get sore for the rest of the day. Gotta change something. But yeah, I really do think that everybody needs to get reality checked. And I think now that I look back on it at age 19, I needed that because I look back on myself when I was in middle school, I was an asshole. I was a dickhead. I was a pompous dickhead. I don't know why I had any friends in middle school. Okay, I was funny. Everybody can be funny. But I wasn't a good friend to people. I walked around pompous, like untouchable. I was a dickhead. And so I needed that check to grow as a person. Now I'm a much better person. I no longer walk around with this chip on my shoulder. I'm not a dickhead to anybody. And now I don't walk around thinking I could just beat everybody. And now think I would like to think that I'm a much better person. I know I keep saying that, but it's important. And it's true. I grew from that moment. So I think everybody needs to have a moment like that where they get checked and they have to step back and really think about, man, I gotta change something, you know? That's one of the most important things in life to me. Um, and yeah, so that was a yap session about a pretty embarrassing time in my life, and you know what I took from it, and I probably didn't explain it as good as I could have, but I don't feel like doing a second take because I've been doing this for almost 16 minutes now. So yeah, um, cool. See this Igor vinyl up here and that bucket hat? That bucket hat's in the way, but you see that Igor vinyl up here? Yeah, that's sitting in the corner of my room. All right, I'm getting into this video.